so I found a whole bunch of stuff online saying, oh yeah, this exists, it's a thing, you can't fix it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you can't fix this, this is pretty big. Alright, so I got my new camera finally. Going to open the camera I showed you a couple weeks ago. I'm finally here in the garage. Got the camera right here. It's got all the cool stuff. We're going to open this up. Again, it's the G7x Mark II. And yes, I know it's an older camera, but it's still one of the better cameras for vloggings. We're going to open this up. We're going to try it and check it out between this and the G9x and see what's better. I'm not going to go full tilt like I did last time where I did an iPhone and a G9x and the S120 and all the other cameras I've had. I'm just going to do the G9x and the G7x Mark II. Let's see what it's like. So I thought it may be important enough to take a look at the G9x versus the G7x Mark II. So I'm taking this with my iPhone 10. Look at the size difference on these beasts. That's a pretty big difference. Look at that. Look at that. That's a pretty big difference. Wow. That's just beefy. I don't know if I can fit that in my pocket. I wonder if Mom can fit that in your pocket. She probably could fit that in her pocket. I don't know that I can. Look at that lens. Oh, that's a big difference. Okay. There's the backs. Not much different in the back. G7X is a lot bigger camera though. Not very pocketable comparatively. So the first thing that's really obvious on these cameras is the G7X over here. It's really much heavier. It is quite heavy, and the lens is a lot bigger, It's got an extra point of zoom, optical, so that's good, but the lens itself is much bigger. Over here, the G9x, light and fluffy. The weird thing is the back screens, the screens that you touch on the back, the touch screens, almost exactly the same display, although the G7X is a bigger screen. The picture it shows is about the same size as the G9X, which is kind of odd. I don't know what to think of that. Anyway, let's do some walk-arounds. I had to stop all that because all those clicking sounds were driving me nuts during editing. So you probably heard that. I had Jen listen to it while I was on my desktop, and we were trying to figure out what it was. And so there was a lot of video, and it looked really pretty. And the new G7x Mark II is really awesome. It does everything that I wanted to do except take audio. For whatever reason, and there's a lot of theories online, the thing has problems with autofocus in that it's always constantly trying to focus on what's going on, and therefore you can hear the clickety click click clickety click click in the background, like a little grinding noise or whatever, and that's a problem for me. That's a huge problem. It sounds bad. It's not very good for vlogging so far, and I took a lot of video. I listened to a lot of the audio that I took and a lot of the video pieces, and the video is awesome, stellar, but the audio is messed up, and I don't really, I'm kind of a stickler for audio, so it drives me crazy. And I don't know if you guys can hear it. You can really hear it if you wear earphones. It's really obvious. And so I found a whole bunch of stuff online saying, oh yeah, this exists, it's a thing, you can't fix it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you can't fix this, this is pretty big. Apparently you can't fix it. There is no fix from Canon. I'm thoroughly baffled by that. That they would do that is amazing. That they let that go out the door is messed up. So I'm going to do some more tests. As you can see, I want to show you another video I did that night, trying to make sure that maybe I changed some settings and try to make it work. But that didn't seem to help either. when I took the video at night, it didn't seem as loud. I could barely hear it, super barely hear it, but I could still hear a little bit. But here's that video from the night. So there's that video. You couldn't hear it, and it focuses great at night. It's such a great camera, except the audio. So I have to try a whole bunch of things this week after work. Sorry, this video is kind of weird, but right now I'm not keeping this camera if I can't get this to settle. This camera will be going back, and it sucks because I love it. It does everything I wanted except do audio. So I'm not into silent movies. Yeah. Sorry, it was a weird video, but right now, dude, I just can't. The G7x Mark II is not a good vlogging camera at all, and this seems to be dominant through all of the posts online and other people that have used it. People that do use it in other vlogs, like the big guys, the big famous vloggers, they seem to use a lot of music in the background, which overrides it, or they use their own mics. And as much as I'd like to mic all the kids up and mom up and everybody, it just isn't realistic. So apparently that's how they got around it, is they use separate mics. Well, it doesn't work for us. So anyway, give you a heads up. That's where I am at. Sorry, it's a weird video this week, but I will be trying to test it this week, and I will post more soon. Sorry, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.